Hi, I'm Rich Torrey. Welcome to another Level Up Cartooning. All you ever need to follow along with me is a pencil and paper. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? So having wrapped up our little deep dive into the characters from Fleischer Studios, we find ourselves at the threshold of summer, and I, for one, can't wait. Sun, fun, cookouts, mosquito bites, and of course, summer movies of the animated variety. Today we're going to launch into a little series of characters from some of this summer's slate of cartoon movies, starting with a character I can't believe I've never drawn. Po Ping, the Kung Fu Panda. Voiced by Jack Black, this hilarious and lovable character, Po, is starring in the fourth Kung Fu Panda movie, simply titled Kung Fu Panda 4. One thing I should point out, as with most animated features today, Po is created using computer or CGI animation techniques, not the traditional 2D animation, adding just a little extra challenge as we try to recreate his likeness using a line drawing. But that's where the fun is, in meeting that challenge, right? One of the ways you can help recreate Po's fur is to not draw the final outline of his furry body in one smooth line. Take note how I draw his fur in short random lines that vary in length and direction. Also take note of how I will leave space or breathing room between some of those lines. It helps to add softness to that fur. Okay, but before we get started, make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button as it helps this channel to grow, and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. Alright then, let's draw from Kung Fu Panda, Po. We're going to draw Po step by step, giving you the secret formula to be able to draw him again and again. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I normally use the character's head to figure out how big the entire character is. In this drawing, Po is just slightly over 3 heads tall. In other words, however tall his big furry head is, his entire giant furry blobby body is just over 3 of those tall. Okay, so let's draw the roadmap for our Kung Fu Panda Po Ping. So there's our roadmap for our Kung Fu Panda. Now before we go on to step 2, I want to give you the layout of Po's body using simple shapes for those of you who want to screen grab. Again, just something to help you envision how to lay out your drawing. So now we're on to step 2. In this step, we do what I call roughing out the features. I want to remind you that until the third and final step, you want to draw as light as possible. You'll see that I use guidelines to help me to know where to put Po's panda eyes, nose, and mouth, among other things. We don't want those guidelines in the final drawing, so you want to draw them light enough to be able to erase them easily. Okay, so let's rough out the features for our Kung Fu Panda. Okay, so there are the roughed out features for a drawing of Po. So now with the roadmap done and the features roughed out, it's time for that final step. In step 3, we get to have fun. We get to draw in the final details of our Kung Fu Panda. We don't have to guess where to put things because we've already done all the hard work figuring that out. As I often say, I want you to be present, and what I mean by that is you don't want to just mindlessly retrace over the lines you've already drawn. As you're drawing that final line, you want to be thinking about how you might improve it, staying vigilant until the very end. And one last time, I want to remind you to take note of how I draw Po's fur, not as one continuous line, but rather using shorter lines that vary in length and direction while leaving space or breathing room between some of those lines. Okay, so let's draw in the final details for Kung Fu Panda. And that's how you do it. There you have it, the star of this summer's Kung Fu Panda 4, Po Ping. So how do you think you did? Understand if you've never drawn any pose of our Kung Fu Panda before, then you can't expect to have drawn him perfectly. You notice I didn't spend time coloring Po during this video because I want my lesson to focus solely on the drawing process. Now you had the secret formula, the process for drawing our Kung Fu Panda himself, Po Ping. And with that, you can draw him again and again, and by all means color him when you're done. I promise each time you draw him, it'll be a little better and a little easier. I also promise the more you work with me, the better you're going to get at all of your cartoon characters. So I'd love to see your drawing of Po. If you can, take a picture and post it on either Facebook or Instagram, and don't forget to include the hashtag #LevelUpCartooning. So I hope you had as much fun as I did with this one. Remember to subscribe, and thanks for joining me. Until next time, keep drawing, my friends.